All right, y'all. We gonna be coming to y'all with an impromptu video. This lady right here, and I'm gonna use that term loosely, has did a full video rant about why you should not move to Atlanta and why Atlanta is so horrible and has so much crime. You see my kids' faces, right? And the words that she used, first of all, is so offensive. Let me just start. I'm just gonna start it up with this, okay? I'm just gonna go on and get this out the way so y'all can see what type of video this is going to be. I'm about real tired of these uppity Negroes. I'm real tired of these uppity Negroes. I am so serious, man. You know, and this is part of the problem that we have. We have enough issues, real issues that are going on right now. Okay? People being shot in the streets, black men being shot left and right. We have a healthcare crisis. Education system is imbalanced.
Unemployment.
You know, well, unemployment is historically low right now.
But
So
there's still lots of people.
right, there are people without jobs and everything, and so
Qualified.
you know, but yet we have to spend time tearing people down. And if you're watching this video and you're black, I want you to share this video. If you're watching this video and you're white and you're Indian, you're Latino, you're Middle Eastern, and you live in Atlanta, and you know what I'm talking about, what I'm getting ready to say, or even if you disagree with, I want you to share this video because I'm tired of the nonsense. All right, so my wife gonna be jumping in, and then first of all, y'all need to know. I mean, for those of you who want to watch our channel, y'all just need to know a little bit about us so we can qualify what we're saying.
Well, I'm originally from Detroit. Grew up there. Went to school in Michigan and Ann Arbor. Been down here in the Atlanta area for about a little over 6 years now. I'm a realtor. So
You're a realtor.
Yeah.
So you on the front lines of, you know, people that want to come to Atlanta. Do we have a lot of people that want to come to Atlanta?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. All right. And they're coming from various reasons.
Right.
All right. Now this lady here says the people that are moving to Atlanta are the trash. Her words, not mine.
Trash.
The trash from Hurricane Katrina victims and other hurricane victims, and there were some projects in St. Louis that were shut down, and somehow they made provision for the people in the projects in St. Louis to come to Atlanta. Has that been your experience?
No.
Okay. I just you know want to get that.
I've met people that were actually working. Like, I met one lady working at Walmart, and she came to Atlanta because of Katrina, but she was working.
She was working.
And
Do you remember what she was doing?
Yeah, she was a cashier.
Okay, she was a cashier. But, I mean, would you qualify her as trash?
As trash? No way.
Okay, all right. Well, this fine young woman here classified people who have had their houses taken away or whatever their place where they live, taken away by an act of God, a storm, something that was completely out of control, that was exacerbated by officials who did not do their jobs, who were forewarned years ago about this damn levee is gonna break and did nothing. Those people are trash.
Yeah.
All right, so.
Were you being sarcastic about that?
What I'm being sarcastic about what?
Fine lady.
Yes, I'm being sarcastic about fine lady. This is my son. He's kind of literal. He don't really understand sarcasm.
I'm just saying,
I'm just saying, you not somebody that understands sarcasm. So we all grew up in Detroit. She grew up in the hood. Would you classify the place that you grew up as the hood in Detroit?
I guess so.
Okay.
I wasn't scared. I wasn't feared for my life every time I went outside. I lived across the street from a playground.
Yeah, but you was in the hood.
I was in the hood.
All right.
But people took care of their house.
Sure.
You know
right.
what I mean?
I understand. But
It wasn't trash around on the
Okay.
street, nothing like that.
All
You
right.
know what I'm saying? We didn't have no big, huge houses. Whatever little piece of land you had, people would cut their grass. They had little flowers.
so
stuff
there was
like that.
there was still pride.
There was still pride.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But we could. Were you 3 or 4 minutes away from a mall?
No.
Were you? I'm sorry, not 3 or 4 minutes. 3 or 4 miles away from a 3 or 4 star restaurants, multiple 3 or 4 star restaurants. What about
Yeah, get in the car and
what
drive.
about a YMCA or a LA Fitness or
A rec center?
Planet Fitness?
That was about maybe 4 miles away.
Okay.
And we would walk there, so we could get there.
Okay.
That was about it.
What about transportation in Detroit?
You had to walk to the bus stop. That was
What
about
would you consider transportation, the public transportation system in Detroit, to be dependable?
No.
All right. So, now, and I just tell y'all real quick, I grew up, I'm not going to sugarcoat, I grew up in the hood. I grew up near the Brewster Project. In fact, this is how silly what we went through used to be. The hood that I was in was considered the uppity hood.
Oh, the different levels.
Even though it was still the hood, we was considered the uppity hood. And so I used to have fights and stuff and all the time with the kids from the Brewster Projects because my hood, which was right next to the Brewster Projects, was considered a little bit better than we don't have time to get into all that. So, but we know what tough neighborhoods look like. We know what tough schools look like. Okay. Also, I have to also say, unfortunately, one particular night I was out late night. Shouldn't have been out, but I was out, and I was carjacked in Detroit. I was shot in Detroit. Lost my scholarship to college because I got shot in Detroit. Before we moved down here, okay, and one of the clues that we had, our neighborhood was a pretty good neighborhood. If you know the Detroit area, we were in the Rosedale Park area, right across the street. All right, people, lawyers, doctors, brick houses, very nice houses. Now, we really can't find houses like that down here. That's the only thing I will say. But anyway, one morning, I'm looking out the window, and what do I see? The police pull up right in front of my house, not for me, but for somebody else, and proceed to have a shootout. And
ran across our yard.
Literally ran the vans and stuff across our yard and hit the tree in my front yard. And as they say, it was at that moment that I knew it was time to go. Because it wasn't no, hey, we about to do a shootout, everybody get down, and we had windows all in the front of our house. Nobody said anything. So,
When was this?
you was a young little whippersnapper. Y'all was probably up in there playing in the playpen or something like that. Y'all didn't know nothing, but that's what was going on. All right? So, why am I saying all this? Down here in Atlanta, we haven't experienced any of that. Now, when people say Atlanta, they mean the whole state of Georgia. We are not in the city of Atlanta. We are in suburb of Atlanta. But I have no problems telling you this because I'm not a prideful person. the county that we live in is considered by Atlanteans, I would say, or whatever, as one of the worst counties to live in Atlanta. Okay? Or in Georgia. And I will tell you, for the most part, the streets are clean. The city services are wonderful. In Detroit, we had people putting whole cars. I'm not making this up. Whole cars on the side of the road that would stay there for years and years and years. Yeah, for nobody to pick up. We don't have stuff like that here. They pick up their trash. They pick up the trees. You know, we have all kind of storms down here. They take care of their stuff. People have pride about their homes and things like that. I haven't even talked about the amenities and all of that. Second of all, Michigan is one of the most segregated states in the United States. When we lived there, that's how it would. That means black people stayed to black people, Jews stayed in Oak Park, white people stayed in their neighborhoods, and people literally did not mingle. It took me an adjustment when I came down here to see all these different people and races and nationalities and all that, and I love it. So for anybody that tells you that Atlanta is just black people down here, and first of all, for another black person to call another black person trash, like I said, uppity Negroes, this is the problem. Because most of the people that were affected in Katrina, with the Katrina hurricane were black.
Right.
So you calling them trash. I don't have time for this. And so I'm just making this video. We're making this video to let people know that you cannot pay attention to everything on there. Oh, what else did she say? She said the schools.
Oh yeah, all the schools are terrible. Every school.
Okay, all the schools are terrible. Listen, now, full disclaimer, our kids are homeschooled by choice, okay? But the middle school that my son went to was one of the top middle schools in the area. They have fantastic grades. If you compare it to the top county in Georgia, they are right there. And the high school that my son would have went to, if I let him go to high school, has some of the highest test grades in the state, and they send kids to Ivy League schools every single year, and it's down the street. It's not, it's the hood and all. So for somebody to say, all the schools are bad, the education is bad, I can tell you right now, the education system here compared to Detroit is night and day.
All right, and it may still need some work, but I think that comes down to individual schools, individual teachers, individual administration, how they run their system.
It comes down to you.
Right, it's the individual. What you're getting out of, just because your kids go to school, that don't mean that's where they get all their education.
Thank you.
You as their parent are supposed to be adding on to what they're learning in school.
Thank you.
Rounding it out. They're not there to discipline your kids. That's your job as the parent to make sure your kids go to school, act like how they're supposed to act. And their job is to teach the basics that's required by the state of Michigan. Not state of Michigan, but the state that you live in. Mm-hmm. That's the teacher's job. And to keep an orderly, classroom. But beyond that, you as a parent can expose them to different, cultures and activities and things like that.
You should be getting them involved with stuff. And that's one of the reasons why we decided, there were a lot of reasons why we decided to homeschool our kids. First of all, they have a fantastic system down here. They spend their time on the computer and everything. To be honest, we don't do a lot. I'm not checking over their, shoulder, every single day or whatever. They know what they need to do. They have events. We'll upload a video. In fact, that's the video that we were gonna upload. They went to a little event. And they have those every so often, So But we just wanted to homeschool them because we wanted to teach them how we wanted to teach them. My kids are learning, a foreign language right now. My daughter specifically, she would not be learning French in her grade right now according to the state system. So, it was just personal preferences. But if I wanted to send them to school, I have good choices to do that. Now, some of them might be charter schools or what have you, but I'm willing to. Well, I'm not doing the driving. My wife doing the driving. We willing to drive the 5 miles that it is or whatever it is. So Atlanta, like anything else, is what you make it. Oh, she said the people were nasty.
Now, I don't know where she get that from.
I have no idea what she's talking about. The first day, not the first day, the first week we were in this area. We had to have the utilities turned on, okay? The electric was on, but the gas was not on. This gas man came in my house, a white guy, an older white guy. And for those of you out there who know, I'm sitting here, I'm playing Madden, okay? This dude, older white guy, comes in my house and sits on my couch unannounced. And what's this that you're playing here? Oh, that looks so interesting. Oh, wow, I might have to. I was like, you talking about a dude from the hood in Detroit? Like, why is this white man sitting on my couch talking about Madden? So I have not. And now again, you're gonna have nasty people. I don't care what city you're in. You think there aren't nasty people in LA? You think it ain't nasty people in Florida, in New York, what have you? Especially, I have to say that I know people are going to get upset. I have been all around the country as a musician. The attitude between here and New York and Boston is night and day. You want to talk about attitudes? Yeah. Let's talk about New York. Let's talk about Boston. Let's talk about, that area. People are not like that down here. In general, they are pretty nice. In general, they help you out. They'll ask questions.
If you make eye contact, they're going to speak.
Oh, yeah.
They will speak.
In Detroit, we didn't do that all the time.
No, we'll look at you crazy.
You get a head nod.
You know.
They speak to you even if you trying to not look. Like you might be having a bad day. They'll look you in the eye. How you doing?
Or you could just be walking by and trying not to say nothing.
Right.
Like, good morning.
Right.
Good afternoon.
They talk to you.
Speak.
Again, that's been argued. And my wife is a realtor. So she's been to multiple cities. She sold houses in multiple cities. We've helped people move here from different areas. And so my point is, if you're coming from an area with this kind of attitude, and we have experienced that. We've experienced people coming from the poorest neighborhoods in Detroit and the poorest neighborhoods specifically in Philadelphia and have the nerve to say, well, I heard bad things about the county that you're in. I heard bad things about the schools. Remember the lady that told us that they stole her garbage can.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
they stole her garbage can in her house, but yet she was concerned about the county that, she had to move in with.
And it had to have a certain walk score so that she could walk.
Right. What is that walk score from?
There's some website, I forget.
Right. If y'all on these listen, y'all got to understand it's political reasons.
Why would somebody steal a trash can?
Well, that's people have done that in other areas. We have not experienced that down here, but if you're paying attention to great schools and all of that, you are paying attention to the wrong information. I can tell you that I can do a movie on the ridiculousness of great schools and their test scores and how inaccurate they are. I don't know what they're making their ratings up, but it just seems to be when there's a lot of white people around, you have great schools, but when you look at those test scores, you'll have schools that are not white that have higher test scores, but their grade school score will be lower than a school in a white neighborhood. So you got to understand there's political reasons that they're doing that. You got to do your own research. We have not experienced any issues. I love the amendment. We have national parks that are literally 2 or 3 miles away. We have malls 2 or 3, 4 miles away. We have the movies down the street. Whatever. If you want to go bowling, if you want to go to an arcade, they just opened up a new arcade within the past 6 months. That's the one thing we didn't have because I wanted to open one myself. I'm a business owner. I've owned, I said, man, I want to open me a Dave and Buster's type business. And that's exactly what they did, almost in the exact spot that I wanted to do it. So, if we had to stay in the United States, if you watched our last video, are we trying to leave the States? Yes, we're trying to leave the States for other reasons. Because we have an idiot for a president, because we don't like the direction that they're going with the healthcare and all of that. And in Europe, healthcare is mostly free. College is mostly free. So that's why we're trying to move. But if we had to pick one place to live in a warm climate, you know what I'm saying? That's why people are moving to Atlanta. So is the rent a little higher? Yes. Are you going to pay a little more? Yes. Why? Because it's supply and demand. People want to be here. So you want to be somewhere where people want to be.
Come down here. Spend some time down here
Right.
for a little while. Go to the schools. Talk to the principals, the teachers. If you can't catch a few parents, get
Now
their
the food, I'm going
feedback.
to tell you this now.
Yeah.
The food is high.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, I can say some bad things about Atlanta. The food is high. Bacon is $8. Why you laughing? You know I'm telling the truth.
Yeah.
So guess what? We don't eat bacon no more. So that kind of stuff, yes. But at the same time, our gas bill in Detroit in the wintertime was $300.
Had to get on that payment plan.
Our gas bill down here is what? Like in the wintertime, like $60, $70. In the wintertime. Okay? My electric bill is low. Oh, my wonderful water bill that I have. My water bill is $25 every 2 months.
What?
Every 2 months. Why are you saying what? Like you know what a water bill supposed to cost, okay? You don't. So,
It would be a lot more.
so there are good reasons and bad reasons to be anywhere, but please do not believe in these people telling you that Atlanta is bad, it's all black, it's nothing but crime. Stop. We haven't even been to all the places in Georgia where we want to go.
Right.
And in future videos, we're going to show y'all some places where we've been, and we're going to show y'all some new places so you can see just how ghetto and trashy Atlanta is. Sarcasm.